Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Nick Palmer. Work for a company called DPS, Bristol Limited, and the clue of where we are is in the name. I have a few hats, and I'm here today in a water recycling capacity. I hope to make a little bit of sense of the title there. Now, in order to do this, it's the obligatory bit of commercial background, who we are, where we've come from, a little bit of water recycling. In particular, we're talking about greywater. What exactly is that? And the irony of having the wettest November on record is not lost on me on that. How we've got to where we are, the importance that partnering has played within that, and the potential for not only this company, for this product, but also for the company and companies like it. Starting off with a bit of a quote from George Lewis, advertising executive from the 60s and 70s, and very much encapsulates what DPS is about. Creativity can solve almost any problem. The creative act, the defeat of habit by originality, overcomes everything, and that's very much who we are, so the ethos of what we're trying to do. Now, obviously, careful this doesn't become a thinly veiled advert for DPS, but unless anybody's got an oil field or a wastewater lagoon, then I think we're on pretty safe ground there. Because as Jonathan was saying, our fundamental basis at the moment is the oil and gas market. We are a multidisciplined engineering company based in Bristol with offices dotted around the world, and we focus on the processing of oil. When oil comes out of the ground, it's got gas, salt, sand, sulfur, water with it, and it's our role to separate the various parts and make sure that everything is environmental, it's safe, and done in an energy efficient manner. So everything that you can see in green on top of this floating vessel, that's what we do. As a result of this, we have developed a specialisation in gas treatment and water treatment, and also the management and handling of hazardous or unfortunate solids. And that's brought with it a growing portfolio of technologies, and in combination with an entrepreneurial chairman, makes my task challenging. So how did we get from the US Gulf of Mexico, where we do some of our oil and gas stuff, to greywater? And I'll come on to what greywater is in a sec. And the two pictures illustrate this really. Is a bit of cross-pollination over a barbecue. 15 years ago, the chairman was talking to his neighbour about what we did, and it came up talking about some specific water treatment technologies, and the idea was formed that, well, why don't you transfer some of that into a domestic environment? And so the concept of transforming what we did in one industry into another was born. Now, 15 years ago, wasn't really a market, but over the last 2 years, it's really picked up some momentum, and it's really pushing forward. Now, in terms of greywater, just to give you a very quick sort of synopsis, and Benjamin Franklin 300 years ago said, when the well's dry, we'll know the worth of water, and that is, as I don't think I need to say to an audience of this nature, something that everybody knows about. So, a well-publicised issue that water is going to be a potential area for conflict in future years, and in the UK, this is compounded by the fact that we flush essentially what is good quality drinking water down the toilet. So we expend a lot of effort, energy in treating water, only to then flush it down the toilet. So the basis of greywater recycling, the aquatic yin and yang, as I like to refer to it, is to try and get the personal bathing water to tally up with the toilet flushing water. So there's a nice balance there, approximately 30-30. So the concept is to use these two to flush the toilet with. Nice and sensible in theory, but forgive a little bit of artistic license. If you can imagine, don't imagine too hard, but some of the stuff that goes down the bath, sinks, showers, it can be pretty grim. Incontinence, diarrhea, babies, people, things like that. So students even. We did a test at Cranfield University, and they had the highest bacterial count that we've ever come across, but that's quite another topic. So if you can imagine that you have to be able to if you're going to flush a toilet with it, and there could be children, or my 5-year-old is known to put his head right down the toilet and look at what's going on when flushing. And so what you don't want to do is to create health hazards as a result of recycling your water. So it's important that the process or the water is treated. And this has become an issue as to why greywater as a concept has not been particularly adopted particularly fast, because the technologies that are there are both big, the size of a double wardrobe, and expensive, £2,000, £3,000, £4,000. What we have developed or spent the last 2 years in particular relevance or effort pushing is a compact version based on the oil and gas work, where the mantra of what we do is lighter, faster, better, cheaper. So a lot of what we do is offshore. Space is weight, cost is always important, and that's really driven us forward. And this is based on some very solid technical foundations. So we have had our water quality accredited by the Water Research Council and the Building Research Establishment, WRC and BRE, so the fundamentals of it are good. And apologies to any engineers in the room, but you can tell it's been designed by an engineer. We just need to soften it up a little bit, because that's the unit pictured on the left-hand side there. And the intention is to focus on installing a product of this nature into the new build market. Savings-wise, saving potentially a third of your daily water usage if you can flush your toilet with that water. Rainwater is a more established market, and this could be rainwater as well, but greywater gives you a much more consistent level. And the savings will depend, or the financial savings will depend where in the country you are. I think we're blessed with some fairly high water rates down here, and therefore the savings, the payback will be that bit more where meters are installed. And then you have the CO2 savings as well, because of the effort and energy it takes to treat water in the first place. I'm yet to find anyone who can tell me how much CO2 it takes to treat a cubic metre of water, but maybe somebody can help. And so what? So recycling water, as I say, we've got a lot of it around at the moment, but this is going to be a big market in the UK and globally. And unfortunately, it's coincided with a bit of a dip in the housing market. Might be to our benefit, but we see the potential market for things such as this of social housing, sustainable developments, bits and pieces like that, and a market that's only taken with a marketing head on. You dice and slice, cut a few figures here and there, and you're essentially looking at a market of around 18, 20 million pounds per annum if you're looking at a unit price of about £400. So it's a unit that's the size of a washing machine, price of a washing machine, which is a fraction of the size and cost of anything that's out there at the moment. So the fundamentals are there, because as Andrew was alluding to earlier on, it's going to be the economic drivers rather than the environmental drivers for the ultimate takeoff of something like this.